Hi, this is Waking Up with Wisdom, and in today's video, we'll share a story about Buddha's teaching on death. Once upon a time, in a serene village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a woman named Kisagotami. Her life was filled with both joy and sorrow, but recently, the sorrow had taken a heavy toll. Kisagotami had just lost her young son, her only child, and a few days earlier, her beloved husband had also passed away. These back-to-back losses plunged her into deep despair. Her child had been her only hope, her reason to carry on, and now that hope was gone. The townspeople, seeing her inconsolable grief, gathered around her. They spoke of the great Buddha, who was staying nearby. Buddha is known for his compassion, they said. Why don't you take your child to him? Perhaps he can bring your son back to life. Clinging to this sliver of hope, Kisagotami wrapped her son's lifeless body and hurried to the place where Buddha was residing. Her heart raced as she approached the wise and serene figure of Buddha, who was seated under a large Bodhi tree, surrounded by his disciples. She fell at his feet, tears streaming down her face, and placed her child before him. Buddha looked at Kisagotami with deep compassion in his eyes. He gently said, "I can bring your son back to life, but you must fulfill one condition." Kisagotami, desperate and willing to do anything, asked what the condition was. Buddha replied, "It is a simple task. Go into town and bring me a few mustard seeds, but they must come from a household where no one has ever died." In her distressed state, Kisagotami did not fully grasp the impossibility of the task. She felt a renewed sense of purpose and rushed into town. Mustard seeds were a common crop, so she was confident that she would find what she needed. She knocked on many doors, explaining her quest. Each time, she was met with sympathetic smiles and shaking heads. People offered her mustard seeds, but each household had experienced death. "We can give you mustard seeds, but we cannot meet the condition," they said. "Many have died in our home." As she continued her search, Kisagotami's initial hope began to wane. The sun began to set, and with each door she knocked on, her realization deepened. Death, she learned, was an inevitable part of life. Every family she encountered had faced the same sorrow she was enduring. It was a shared human experience. By nightfall, Kisagotami was emotionally and physically exhausted. She had knocked on every door in the village, and not a single household had been untouched by death. She sat down under a tree, reflecting on the day's events. The profound truth dawned on her. Death is a natural and unavoidable part of life. No one can escape it, and it comes to everyone, regardless of their status, wealth, or circumstances. With this newfound understanding, Kisagotami returned to Buddha. She no longer carried the frantic desperation she had earlier in the day. Instead, she approached him with a calm and enlightened heart. She placed her son's body at Buddha's feet and said, "I understand now. Death comes to all, and none can escape it. I no longer seek to bring my child back to life. Instead, I ask you to teach me your path so I may understand the eternal truths and find peace." Buddha smiled gently and said, "That was the lesson I intended for you to learn. Now you are ready." With that, he initiated Kisagotami into his teachings, guiding her on a path to spiritual enlightenment. This story illustrates the inevitability of death and the importance of understanding it as a natural part of life. It teaches us to appreciate every moment we have with our loved ones and to seek a deeper understanding of life beyond our immediate attachments. In life, there can be no death without life and no life without death. This cycle is part of the natural order. Though we are deeply connected to those we love, recognizing the impermanence of life helps us cherish every moment we have. Life is a precious journey, so embrace it fully. Kisagotami's journey also reminds us that our struggles and grief are shared human experiences. We are not alone in our suffering, and there is a greater wisdom to be found in accepting and understanding the natural flow of life and death. This is waking up with wisdom. Thanks for watching and stay blessed.